Harrington, once a bustling town thriving on its booming industry, had transformed into a shadow of its former self. The most haunting reminder of its past glory was the old Harrington textile factory, now abandoned and decaying. Its broken windows and rusted machinery were a stark contrast to the life it once brought to the community. Emily, a young and ambitious journalist, had always been fascinated by tales of the supernatural. When she heard rumors about the old factory being haunted by ghouls, she couldn't resist the urge to investigate. She was determined to uncover the truth and make a name for herself in the world of journalism. After her terrifying encounter with the ghouls at the factory, Emily returned to the library, hoping to find more clues. Her investigation led her to an old journal, hidden among the library's archives. The journal belonged to a former factory worker named Thomas, who had written about the strange occurrences and supernatural phenomena he had witnessed during his time at the factory. Thomas's journal was filled with detailed accounts of eerie noises, ghostly apparitions, and unexplained events. As Emily read through the pages, she felt a chill run down her spine. The entries were dated from the late 1940s, a time when the factory was still operational. Thomas had been one of the few workers who had stayed on after the factory started experiencing mysterious problems. Thomas's journal began with accounts of minor, yet unsettling events. Tools would go missing, only to reappear in strange places. Machines would start up on their own, and the temperature in certain areas of the factory would plummet suddenly. One entry, dated November 12, 1947, stood out to Emily. "I can't explain what I saw today. It was late, and I was finishing up my shift. The factory was empty, or at least I thought it was. I heard whispers, faint but unmistakable, coming from the old storage room. I followed the sound, and as I opened the door, I saw them, figures, pale and ghastly, their eyes glowing with a haunting light. They vanished as soon as they appeared, but I know what I saw. This place is cursed." Thomas's entries grew more desperate and fearful as time went on. He described the ghouls in detail, their twisted forms and malevolent presence. He wrote about the increasing number of accidents and strange illnesses among the workers. The factory had become a place of fear and dread, and the workers believed they were being haunted by the spirits of those who had died there. Determined to understand more, Emily decided to dig into the factory's history. She discovered that the factory had been built in the early 1900s and had quickly become the town's main source of employment. However, it also had a dark side. The working conditions were harsh, and many workers had suffered injuries or even lost their lives in accidents. One particularly tragic incident involved a fire that had broken out in the factory in 1935, trapping several workers inside. Despite their desperate attempts to escape, many perished in the flames. Their bodies were never recovered, and their spirits were said to haunt the factory to this day. Emily's research also revealed that the factory's owner, a man named Harold Whitaker, had been a ruthless and unscrupulous businessman. He had cut corners on safety measures and pushed his workers to their limits, all in the name of profit. It was rumored that Whitaker had made a pact with dark forces to ensure the factory's success, a pact that had ultimately led to its downfall. Armed with the information she had gathered, Emily returned to the factory, determined to uncover the truth once and for all. She navigated the dark, labyrinthine corridors, her flashlight beam cutting through the thick dust and cobwebs. The air was thick with an oppressive energy, and she could feel the presence of the ghouls lurking in the shadows. Emily's footsteps echoed through the silent halls as she made her way to the old storage room mentioned in Thomas's journal. She pushed open the creaking door and stepped inside, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and determination. The room was filled with old, rusted machinery and stacks of decaying fabric, but there was something else, a faint, ethereal glow emanating from a corner of the room. As Emily approached the source of the light, she saw them, the ghouls. Their forms were twisted and decayed, their eyes glowing with a haunting light. They moved slowly, their movements jerky and unnatural, as if they were trapped between this world and the next. For a moment, Emily was frozen with fear. But her determination to uncover the truth and put the spirits to rest drove her forward. She raised her camera and snapped several pictures, the flash illuminating the dark room. The ghouls seemed to recoil from the light, their whispers growing louder and more frantic. Emily took a deep breath and spoke, her voice steady and calm. "I know what happened here. I know about the fire, the deaths, and the pact with dark forces. I'm here to help you find peace." The ghouls seemed to pause, their eyes fixed on her. Emily felt a surge of hope as she continued. "Your spirits are trapped here because of what happened. But I believe there is a way to release you from this curse. I need to find out more about the pact and how to break it." As Emily continued her investigation, she discovered more about the dark pact Harold Whittaker had made. It was said that he had summoned a powerful spirit and bound it to the factory, ensuring its success in exchange for the souls of the workers. The pact had been sealed with a ritual, and the only way to break it was to perform a counter-ritual to release the trapped souls. Emily knew that performing the ritual would be dangerous, but she was determined to see it through. She gathered the necessary ingredients and returned to the factory, her heart pounding with anticipation. The air was thick with an oppressive energy as she made her way to the central hall, where the original ritual had taken place. With the ingredients in place and the symbols drawn, Emily began the incantation. The air crackled with energy, and the ground trembled beneath her feet. The ghouls appeared around her, their eyes glowing with a haunting light. She could feel their presence, their desperation for release. As Emily recited the final words of the incantation, a blinding light filled the room. The ghouls let out a collective wail, their forms dissolving into the light. The oppressive energy lifted, and the factory grew still. When the light finally subsided, Emily found herself standing in the silent hall. The ghouls were gone, their spirits finally released from the curse that had bound them. She felt a sense of relief and triumph as she realized she had succeeded. The sun had set over Harrington, casting long shadows over the town. The old Harrington textile factory, once a symbol of fear and despair, now stood as a beacon of hope and renewal. The building, with its rusted machinery and crumbling walls, had been transformed into a museum dedicated to the town's rich history and the stories of those who had worked there. Emily stood on the steps of the museum, looking out over the gathering crowd. The townspeople had come together to celebrate the grand opening of the Harrington History Museum, a testament to the resilience and determination of the community. The air was filled with excitement and anticipation, and Emily couldn't help but feel a deep sense of pride and fulfillment. As she addressed the crowd, her voice steady and confident, Emily reflected on the journey that had brought her to this moment. She had come to Harrington as a young journalist, eager to make a name for herself and uncover the truth behind the rumors of the haunted factory. What she had found was a story of tragedy, betrayal, and redemption, one that had changed her life forever. "Thank you all for being here today," Emily began, her voice carrying over the crowd. "The history of Harrington is a story of perseverance and strength. The Harrington Textile Factory, once a place of fear and suffering, now stands as a symbol of our community's resilience." The crowd erupted in applause, and Emily smiled, feeling a sense of connection with the people of Harrington. She had spent countless hours researching the factory's history, uncovering the dark secrets that had haunted the town for decades. Her investigation had led her to the Journal of Thomas, a former factory worker who had witnessed the supernatural phenomena that plagued the factory. "Through my research, I discovered the story of Thomas, a brave factory worker who documented the strange occurrences and ghostly apparitions he witnessed during his time at the factory," Emily continued. His journal provided valuable insights into the lives of those who worked here and the challenges they faced. Emily's voice wavered slightly as she recounted the tragic fire that had claimed the lives of several workers. The fire had been a turning point in the factory's history, a moment that marked the beginning of the haunting. The spirits of those who had perished in the flames had remained trapped within the factory, their pain and suffering echoing through the halls. The fire that broke out in 1935 was a devastating event, one that left a lasting impact on the town, Emily said, her voice filled with emotion. But through our efforts, we were able to uncover the truth and bring peace to the spirits that had been trapped within these walls. The crowd fell silent, their faces reflecting a mix of sorrow and hope. Emily knew that the story of the factory was one of both tragedy and triumph, a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure and overcome. As we open the doors to the Harrington History Museum, we honor the memories of those who worked here and the sacrifices they made, Emily continued. This museum is a place where we can learn from the past and ensure that the stories of those who came before us are never forgotten. The museum's exhibits showcase the history of the factory, from its early days as a thriving hub of industry to the dark times when it was haunted by ghouls. Artifacts and photographs provided a glimpse into the lives of the workers, their struggles and triumphs preserved for future generations. Emily's investigation had revealed that the factory's owner, Harold Whittaker, had made a dark pact with supernatural forces to ensure the factory's success. The pact had come at a terrible cost, binding the spirits of the workers to the factory and creating the haunting that had plagued the town for decades. Harold Whittaker's actions brought great suffering to the workers of this factory, Emily said, her voice resolute. But through our efforts, we were able to break the curse and release the trapped spirits. Today, we remember their stories and honor their resilience. Emily's journey had been fraught with danger and uncertainty, but her determination and courage had guided her through the darkest moments. She had faced the ghouls of the abandoned factory, uncovered the truth about the dark pact, and performed the ritual that had finally put the spirits to rest. The legacy of the Harrington textile factory is one of redemption and renewal, Emily said, her voice filled with pride. As we move forward, let us remember the lessons of the past and work together to build a brighter future. The crowd erupted in applause once more, and Emily felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had uncovered the truth and brought peace to the spirits that had haunted the factory. Her work as a journalist had made a lasting impact on the town, and she was determined to continue her quest for knowledge and justice. As the sun set over Harrington, casting a warm glow over the town, Emily looked forward to new adventures and the continued pursuit of truth. The Harrington History Museum stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of uncovering the past. With a renewed sense of purpose, Emily knew that her journey was far from over. She was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, guided by the lessons she had learned and the stories she had uncovered. The ghouls of the abandoned factory were finally at peace, their tragic stories remembered and honored. Emily's work had just begun, and she was determined to continue shining a light on the mysteries of the past. The town of Harrington, once shrouded in darkness, now stood as a beacon of hope and resilience, ready to face the future with courage and determination. If you enjoyed this tale of ghouls of the abandoned factory and want to immerse yourself in more captivating stories, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll not only support our storytelling journey but also stay updated on our latest narratives, eerie legends, and thrilling adventures. Join a community of fellow story lovers who share a passion for the mysterious and the unknown. Hit the notification bell to never miss an update. Let us know in the comments what stories haunt your dreams or what legends you'd like us to explore next. Your voice matters, and together we can weave a tapestry of unforgettable tales. Thank you for being a part of our storytelling family.